Any stories? Anything happened in Philadelphia yesterday? Because I was not watching the news. Ah, one more thing.
Yeah.
Are we gonna? Is the government going to release the money for the people?
They haven't.
They haven't yet.
They haven't settled on it yet. No, they were at Capitol Hill yesterday. They haven't settled on it yet.
I hope this is not a politic, because the Americans, they don't have time for this.
Right.
The Americans, they need the money now. They need the money yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. And I don't know why the Democrat, they're giving a hard time. I don't know what's their excuse in this situation be. And I'm thinking, like, for example, if they need if this money is supposed to go to a corrupt foreign country, it'd be approved a long time ago. Now, for the American people, which they need help right now, and plus they don't need help. This is their money.
Mm-hmm.
They pay taxes for years and years and years.
Right.
They need their money now. They need to survive now. And I'm not understanding what's the holdup.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't agree on 2 trillion, agree on 1 trillion today.
Right.
Let's
talk about
the
next step.
Yes, I mean, listen. If you approve 1 trillion today, you can use that 1 trillion, and in the process, go back to the room and negotiate the 2nd trillion.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? I'm serious. It's Democrat and I mean, I don't know. I can't blame the Republican for this, because the Republican, they're approving that they're having 4 people out sick. That's why they couldn't get the bill through. Which, to my opinion, why they don't allow them to vote electronically from their homes?
Right.
You believe in technology so much, and you're using technology every single day. Allow these people to vote from their homes.
Right.
Hey, Senator X, yes, no, yes.
Right.
Boom. Senator, yes, no. Everybody's watching them on the Skype or some kind of meeting. I vote yes for the American people. Why we care if you're home or if you're not?
Right.
Why they're not doing it?
I don't know what they're thinking about. But
This is stupid, very stupid, and I'm gonna call it again, very stupid. The American people, they don't need no bullshit right now. They have no time for the bullshit. They cannot take any more bullshit because they're taking a lot.
Right.
No work. Some of them, they don't even know if they're getting paid or not.
Yeah, I know.
Some of them, they don't know if they're going to be approved for the unemployment or not.
Right.
And there is some of them, they don't know if they're going back to work soon or not. And some of them, they don't know if they go back to work, it isn't work.
Right.
It is a lot of things in their plate. Mm-hmm. And they cannot think about, is the Democrat approved the bill? Oh, is the Republican back to work? The fuck?
Yeah.
Seriously, if you think about the American people and you always think about America first, this is the time when you can prove it with no arguments.
Right.
We need 2 trillion. Give us 2 trillion. This is not your fucking money anyway. This is the taxpayer money. They want their money right now. It's like you are doing some saving, and you woke up one morning and you need your saving. The bank is not going to argue with you, don't take your saving.
Right.
No, the Democrat and the Republican, I think they're playing this kind of politic bullshit, which nobody needs it.
Someone said they can't let them vote from home. The government is scared that someone may play with the vote. A lot of hackers out there.
I know, I'm not saying, what I said is, put him on Skype.
Like a live video.
A live video. Send 2 security guards watching him. He's not being pushed by anybody. Send whatever, Homeland Security, CIA. Send whole police department watching the vote and hit the click button, yes or no. Make it a button showing right there. I vote yes. I vote no. And then we know if he's voting yes or no.
He said, and the Democrats are who voted no.
Well, listen, the Democrat, I have no idea why they're not voting for a yes.
Right.
I don't understand what's the holdup, and everybody is holding this vote. The American people, they should not vote for his ass next time. He should be out.
Yeah.
Because this Democrat, they're not voting. I'll tell you why. Because in his house, he doesn't need food.
Right.
He doesn't need to pay his bills. He doesn't need a lot of shit. He doesn't understand when you go to a fucking poor neighborhood, these people, they need to pay their bills yesterday. I know people, they cannot afford to stay one day without money.
Right.
This means the Democrat out there, I'm not going to ask you please because you're not fucking doing us a favor. I'm asking you to vote, pass the bill. And if you cannot pass the bill for $2 trillion, pass it today for $1. Go back to the room and renegotiate the bullshit you're negotiating today. That's my opinion.
No, yeah, I understand.
I mean, if you're running a country, you can't put it in the stand for fucking 20 days because you're not thinking, or maybe you wake up in the wrong side, or you want to pay the Republicans somehow because it's not the time for this bullshit. And stop blaming each other who did what. We don't fucking need that either.
Right.
We need to fucking work together as a country. Mm-hmm. We need to work together as the people, not working as a Democrat and a Republican, which is just like bullshit.
Yeah. Just work together.
It's very upsetting, I swear. It's very upsetting. I mean, you think, we wake up in the morning and you think the government is working for the people. This is the way it's supposed to be. No, the country, whole country is not about, we're talking about the Republican, Democrat. Whole country, they're stuck with no money.
Right.
I mean, I'm not talking whole country, but the whole country is stuck in a situation they don't know what to do. Yeah. And they don't know what is the future. Is coming a better day tomorrow? Is going to be worse? Just right now, they need to keep going. Like they're telling people to stay home. Okay, they are staying home, but some people, they cannot afford to stay home because they work and they get paid day by day.
Right.
When you make $60 a day, how can you save? Right. And when you make $60 a day, how can you stay home for, how long now we are staying home? For how long?
It's been about a week and a half.
A week and a half. Okay, we're staying at home for a week and a half. And if you're making $60 a day, which is a lot of people out there having and doing the same thing, how are we supposed to feed his family today? Right. Seriously, what are we supposed to feed his family? Start robbing people? And if you're squeezing people too much, that's what's gonna get to.
Yeah.
They're gonna get angry. They're gonna go to the street. They're gonna tell you, okay, you want us to stay home? Fucking feed us.
Right.
You can't fucking tell people to stay home without food.
Right.
I mean, I always say the Democrat or the Republican, the people in the government, they don't feel the pain of the others.
Right. Because
they live in a world which everything is perfect. They live in a world they don't need to pay bills because they have plenty of money. They live in a world his son doesn't sleep in the fucking basement.
Right.
They live in a world his son does not need to pay his car payment, doesn't need gas, doesn't need a home. They live in a world like a perfect fucking world, and they act like they care about the people. They don't fucking care about anybody.
Right.
Seriously, they don't. The only thing they care about, he needs to stay in office. That's all what he does care about.
Right.
And how to squeeze his Republican enemy, or I don't know how we're gonna call it. This is just like crazy, I swear, like crazy. So let's see how long it's gonna take for this $2 trillion to be released.
Both parties need to stop fighting and work together to save the country, unless they want us to be like Mexico yesterday. Mexico was crazy. People were robbing big supermarkets. There were riots in Mexico.
No, can you blame them?
No.
You cannot hold people at home with no food, with no money, because they will go crazy. Because they're already going crazy because of the situation being.
Right.
Imagine you have 2 kids or 3 kids jumping in the house all day long, and you are thinking we have no food, and they're getting your nerves because they're kids and they want to play. They don't know nothing. They just want to play. Right. And you have to deal with this, to deal with you being home, to deal with no money. And next thing, when your kids, they're gonna start crying. What are you gonna do? Of course, you're gonna go outside, try to find food. You can't blame these people.
Right.
I mean, the government needs to take, and every single government out there, I'm not talking about only the state, every single government out there, if you're asking people to stay home, you need to make sure they're fed.
Right.
You need to make sure they're fed before you ask them to stay home. because shit might hit the fan and it will be really, 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 really bad. We listen. Nobody wants this. We're all hoping for the best, and we're all hoping for a better tomorrow.
Right.
But this kind of game of, I think, between me and you, I think the Democrat and the Republican is just a game. Seriously, it's just a game. And I'm going to explain it how. If you are a Democrat or a Republican, and tomorrow the Republican wake up in the morning and they said we're going to stop food stamp, for example.
Okay.
They don't tell, the Republican, they're going to get the food stamp. The Democrat, they're not going to get the food stamp.
Right.
They don't separate. When some shit hit the fan, hits everybody, the Democrat and the Republican. That's why people, they need to understand. You need to vote for your party. I understand that part because you love to be a Republican, the Republican what they stand for and everything. But just make sure you're voting for that person who's gonna care about you too.
Yeah.
When he gonna wake up in the morning and make some kind of decision, make sure he's doing the right decision for the country, not for the party. Because the party does not represent the country.
Right.
Like what's happening on the healthcare. Whole country doesn't have a fucking healthcare. Whole country. And when they do these fucking programs, like Obama program, taking Obama program, all this bullshit, a lot of people getting affected, Democrat and Republican.
Right.
Like when they come up with Obamacare, how many Republican and Democrat, they got screwed under policies? How many? A tons.
Yeah.
They didn't pick and choose. They said, you're a Democrat, now you're going to be okay. You're a Republican, fuck you.
Right.
They didn't say that. One policy, one decision, bang, you're fucking out. Everybody getting screwed. So do I care who's going to be in the office? Fuck no.
Right.
I care about one person, one thing. If I'm going to vote a Democrat or a Republican, I want to make sure that person, he's working for all of us.
Yeah. You care about people.
Yes. Like we're fighting about immigrants, fighting about borders. Of course, borders need to be protected. If you are a Democrat and a Republican, yes, you want to protect your borders.
Yeah.
Why are we making this as a fucking game plan? And plus, I'll tell you something, believe it or not. None of the Democrat or the Republican, they want the borders to be secure. None of that. It's just another game to get people motivated, to get people to go to the polls, to get people votes. Just the only reason they do it. They use it.
Yeah.
Every time somebody wake up want to be a politician, we're gonna squeeze the immigrant. Okay, that's fine. We squeeze the immigrant, and we're gonna block the borders, and we're gonna work for the poor people. We're gonna make sure the poor guy he's getting help. Well, guess what? The poor guy being a poor guy for fucking 20 years. And you've been in the office before, and before you, another person was in the office, and it didn't help the fucking poor guy. And guess what? We go back 100 years ago, because families, they were poor for generations, they still poor. Their kids today, they're poor. So I mean, what make you waking up this morning trying to get fucking votes by using the poor guy? Leave the fucking poor guy alone. Just go and vote for what you, go and become a president or a senator or a governor or whatever for something you're going to do for the country, and leave people alone. Start playing with people, stop playing with people's minds. Because nobody helping anybody out there. I guarantee you that.
Right.
Nobody helping anybody out there. And the proof is, when you see in a poor neighborhoods, they're poor neighborhoods for generations.
Yeah.
For generations. And how many people been there? And they have some city council and some state representative and some all this government being in the office for 20 years. And the same neighborhood getting worse and worse and worse and worse every day.
Yeah.
And how they clean the neighborhood. They get investors to buy their homes, raise their taxes up, and get them out of that neighborhood because the investors, they need them. That's how they help them. To fuck them right in the ass. That's exactly how they help them.